Hey folks, Trey 54 here, bringing you what I hope will be a bit of food for thought, some good advice. I don't know if you've ever thought about reloading or if you're starting to reload, but if you're new to reloading, there's going to be a lot to learn. You don't learn this stuff in one day or 1 week. And you're going to hear a lot of differences in people, what people think or what they do or what they wish they had done or whatever. But anyway, what we're going to talk about today is lubricating and sizing bullets, lead cast bullets. That's all we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about factory bullets, copper jacket bullets, nothing but just lead bullets. First thing I want to say is, like I said, I'm Trey 54. The name Trey, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, just a little bit. Name Trey, it's just a name, no problem. Easy to get. The 54 is a little more complicated. I ended up with that name from a bunch of my friends that I think they falsely accused me of missing 54 deer with a bow before I ever killed one. Now the reason I think they falsely accused me is because there was 2 or 3 I missed that I didn't tell them about. So the 54 probably ain't right, but it got stuck on me and that's who I am. And I've done a few reviews in my life and I've done some evaluations and some tests on sporting goods, and it's all been in writing. I'm new to YouTube. This is a new thing for me because my teenage boys got me into the YouTube thing. But anyway, let's get to what we're talking about. Lubricating bullets. When you lead cast a bullet, let me get one over here. You know, you pour hot lead, molten lead, in a mold, and that bullet is not going to come out of every cavity in that mold the same. It won't even come out of the same cavity the same every time, because it's according to how hot that mold is. It's according to how hard or soft your lead is, how much it's going to shrink as it cools. So lead cast bullets are not exactly the right size. So that's the sizing part we're going to talk about. But let's talk about the lubricating part first. I do what's called a tumble lube, and what I do, and you can put it in anything you want to. I've got some here that's just come out of the mold. They're just silver bullets. They ain't got nothing on them, no lubricant at all. You can go out and you can buy you a $300 or $400 or $200 or $300 whatever automatic luber, and it'll put a bullet. Every bullet's got lube rings in it or grooves. What it's going to do, it's going to fill that groove up with a wax type product, a grease or whatever, and it don't coat the whole bullet. I like to coat the whole bullet. So what I'm going to do, Lee makes a perfect product, Lee A-Locks. It's just a liquid lubricant. I just put, and like I say, I use a Ziploc bag. You can use this thing. I've seen people use this. I think it's dumb. You have to clean it out when you do. Ziploc bags you can throw away. You don't even have to zip it up. But anyway, it's called a tumble lube. You just tumble them around. You get the A-Locks on them good. Run them around good, make sure they're coated good. Once you get them coated good, which took a very short time, it don't take a long time to do it, and it don't take a lot of A-Locks. Or whatever lubricant you want. You can use anything you want, but I use A-Locks. Pour them out on wax paper. And what I do, you can see them, kind of move around a little bit. What that does, and just make sure it coats everything and it coats it smooth. Set them back for 24 hours and tomorrow you're going to be ready to run them through the sizer. So that's all there is to the lube. Of course I seal this back and I don't use the same. I use the new one just now, but I've got several laying around here somewhere that's already got some lube in them. So the lube's simple. Anytime you've got 2 metal parts touching each other, you need something between them to keep them from rubbing. Because when metal rubs metal, it wears, it leads your barrel. It's just a bad thing. A bullet has got to be lubed. I've got some friends that they take them out of the mold. They don't lube them. They don't size them. They throw them in their reloader, and they go out there and they bang bang, make a lot of noise. Can't hit nothing with them, but they're having a lot of fun. That's all they're after. They don't care. When they want a good box of bullets to go hunting with, they come and see me, because I don't do that. I do this thing right. But enough about the lubing. That's just simple. You got to lube bullets. Sizing, I've heard people say you don't got to size bullets. I've heard people say you can take a set of these, check your bullets when they come out. If you desire to do that and waste all that time, go ahead, have at it. I don't. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to measure every bullet that comes out. We shoot a lot. We might shoot 500 or 600 bullets a weekend, and I'm not going to measure every one of them with a set of calipers. I've got calipers, but I don't use them. What I do is I've got a Lee resizing die or sizing die. These are 9mm I'm doing today. I've got several bullets and stuff here, but I've got a Lee product. Started using Lee about 40 years ago. But anyway, what I want to do, I've got some here that's already dry. I'm not going to wait on that. But you can see I've got a ton I've done, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick me out about 10 here, and I'm not hand picking anything. 2, 4, 8, 10, 11. I ain't hand picking nothing. I'm just taking off. But what I want to do, what I want to show you, is I can put the calipers on them, and I can show you some of them is going to be 355 or 35, 36, 37, whatever. You know, hundredths of an inch. But anyway, what I done, I ran me a case through my reloader a while ago, and I got it ready for the bullet. And people, what they do if they don't size bullets, they set their die to flare out the end of their case so it looks like a end of a bugle or a blunderbuss barrel, and that's just wrong. You don't need to do that. When you flare the end of that case, it needs to be just barely flared, a little bit right on the end, and that's just enough to take a perfect bullet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I just picked them out of there. These came out of the mold. I put them in there yesterday, or I ran them yesterday. I lubed them, I put them in a box, I dried them, now they're dry. They're ready for either to go through the reloader over there or through the die, the sizing die. I'm going to show you something here. That bullet won't fit in that. That bullet won't fit in that. Neither will that one. Neither will that one. And like I said, I didn't hand pick nothing. Now I did pick probably the worst mold I've got to show you this. Sometimes they will fit, and I'm not going to say you're not going to get bullets that don't come out good, but I'm not going to check every bullet. I'm not going to fool with doing that. It's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. For the few bucks, you know, 50, 60, 70 bucks you'll spend for that. So I've tried 10 bullets. None of the 10 will go through there. There's my case. Now what I want to do, this is just a Lee single stage reloading press, and it's got a die in it, 9mm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run these things through here, and like I say, they need to be lubricated before I let the lube dry. But I'm going to run these through here and see what kind of a difference it makes in what you just saw. What you saw was they would not fit in that case, and that case is right. That case, my reloader is set right. The flare on the end of the case is right. It's very minimal. Like I say, I'm not going to flare it out there like the end of a bugle, and so I can force a bullet in it. I'm not going to do that. The forcing's done right here in this. It's just like the forcing cone on your gun. But this thing right here cost, I think the die's about 25, 30 bucks or whatever, and then $30, $40, I don't know, something like that for that $70–75 bought the whole set. But anyway, I'm gonna have to run 2 or 3 more through there to get these run up through, because what happens with Lee here is they line up inside that thing. They don't all push out at the same time. So I'm gonna try to get us at least 10 of those, just like I had to start with that I showed you. That wouldn't work. So what I want to do, I want to get up a little one. Dropped one there, but that ain't no big deal either. I'm going to take these same, I'm dropping bullets everywhere, ain't I? But that ain't no problem either. Now I've got, what we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And this one up there. I wanted 10 of them, but well, I don't know where it went to, but it don't matter. We'll check 9. Ain't no big deal. Anyway, here's my case. This is the important thing. The lube's, like I said, easy. Now you saw a while ago these bullets would not go in this case. Now I want to show you something. See how easy that went in there? When you start reloading and you start fighting this lead trying to get it in your case, see there? They'll all go right in there. That's what that's for. That's what sizing these bullets is for. I've heard people say let your gun size them. There ain't no purpose in sizing them. I don't want to make anybody mad. I don't want to get a bunch of bad phone calls or emails or anything, but I say if you don't lube and size your bullets, you're just wrong. It's that simple. You can see every one of them bullets will go in there. And I'll tell you what, I've got 200 or 300 laying right there that will go in there too. And every one of them will go right in there with no problem. You can see that. They go right in. That means when you start reloading, I'm going to grab one out of these 200 or 300 and show you. And I can grab any one out of them 200 or 300. There may be 300 or 400 there, I don't know. But anyway, any one I get a hold of is going to work. It's going to fit right in there. And that's the thing about lubing and sizing bullets. It's not a real expensive thing, but I'll tell you one thing. It'll save your gun barrel, it'll save your lead, the lube wheel, and it makes reloading a joy instead of a burden, trying to force a bullet down in something that's too small for it to go in. And if you flare it out big enough to take a bullet that has not been resized, then you're just destroying your brass is what you're doing. It's going to give away a lot faster. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you today about that, and I want to say one thing. There's 3 things I believe very strongly in. That's God, guns, and the NRA. And without God, none of it could happen. Without the guns, wouldn't be no need in reloading, and without the NRA, we wouldn't have the guns. I'm a life member of the NRA. I've got a life membership. And if you're not a member of the NRA, give it some thought. So, that's all I got to say. Have a good day.